There's an old tale of Poppentry Park. Many years ago, there was a young man that loved children. He loved entertaining them. He even worked as a clown. He lived well until he got too old and was made retire, but he never stopped. He wasn't allowed to interact with children, so instead he stands there, in the park, in his clown outfit, watching. Every now and again, he even follows them home. I closed the book. I hoped the poor kid I was babysitting wouldn't have nightmares. He was asleep. I went to close the blinds, and through the window I saw two red eyes looking up at me. Since that day, I've pointed out various mistakes in the tale. He never loved children. Well, not in the way you may think. Yes, he followed the children home, but it was darker than that. He followed them to eat them.
Legend has it that over 8 years ago, a girl worked as a receptionist in the Alysis. She always stayed extra hours until 1 a.m. to be exact. While on her night shift, she heard a loud bang near the theatre. Being scared, she thought it was nothing. Just when she was about to close up the Alysis, boom, she heard it again. Now, the girl was a curious type, so she went to see what was up. She opened the door and walked in. Before she could even breathe, the door slammed shut. She desperately tried to get out, but it wasn't helping. She realized what she was here for and looked around. Nothing. The door opened, creaking as it does so. Just as she was about to leave, walking started. Frozen in fear, she didn't move. Then it stopped. She turned around and fell. She looked up to see a man wearing all black with a hat over his head. He had a baseball bat in his hands and swung, breaking both of her ankles so she can't run away. He dragged her to the stage and brought her backstage. Till this day, no one has ever heard of the girl or seen her again.
Well. There was a young boy called Schweinsteiger. He was a very, very creative boy who could paint pictures for a living. People in his area called Ballymun called him a living legend. He would get compared to one of the best painters in the world, Leonardo da Vinci. But one day his demon artist was gone from his paper, but the background was still there. He called this strange. But one night he could not sleep at all, struggling. But then he felt someone or something hit him with a heavy object and he got knocked out. But he didn't know he was asleep. Then suddenly he thought he was awake, but he was having a sleep paralysis and he couldn't move. A huge demon jumped on top of him. He realized it was the demon from his art picture, but he could not do anything because he couldn't move at all. It was angry for no reason, but Schweinsteiger knew how to defeat it. He had to think of a picture and had to create it in his head so it could jump out and attack the demon. So that's what he did. He created a destroying good fire that defeated the demon, and he woke up until the light the demon was gone.
One morning, my friend Kaylee was walking her dog Daisy. She noticed the swans were gone out of the pond. She was quite confused because most of the time the pond is full of them. The next morning she went again and she seen something swimming in the water. It wasn't a duck or dog or fish, it was way too big. She walked down the steps and as she got closer, big claws crawled up the side of the steps. It was a big monster with scales and sharp teeth, like something out of a horror movie. All the birds flew away and Kaylee ran for her life. She got away, but no one knows what it was or who the next victim will be.
Haunted Halloween. I've heard a rumour that Ballymun Clinic is haunted. There were skeletons, zombies and ghosts. Every Halloween, a boy or a girl go into the clinic and always get possessed or eaten by zombies. One year, a little girl named Sophie was going into her school called Holy Spirit 2 days before Halloween. She said she is so enthusiastic about Halloween. It's her favourite time of year. She is dressing up as a ghost and her friends are dressing up as zombies. Her friends are planning to go into the haunted clinic. She does not like the haunted clinic, but her friends said, "Come on, it'll be fun." She was so scared, but her friends insisted that she goes. She said, "Fine, I'll go, but I'll be terrified." So they planned to meet at the shop beside the clinic one day before Halloween. She woke up to a nice fry made by her mum. She loved the fry made by her mum. She makes the best. Her mum gave her a packed lunch. She told her, "Have a good day, dear." Today was a half day and she was going to have a party. Her teacher bought a load of sweets for the students. Sophie was so happy at the party. Her friends had a blast. And finally, Halloween night. It was Halloween night and the weather was howling. And it was pitch black everywhere. Everyone is at the shop. Her friends are so excited and Sophie was terrified. So they went in to the clinic. It was dark and everyone was so happy until they heard a noise. Sophie started to shake and quiver. Then they heard a thump. Her friends ran ahead and Sophie walked. 2 minutes later, one of her friends died of a heart attack. She was so scared, and then they see a zombie and a ghost. Sophie ran, but the rest stood there to die to the zombies. Sophie ran home, not looking back, and never went out again.